assistance down there in the way, that I am of assistance up here. But I did hear that they did get counsel. So
Mm.
he is entitled to a hearing, and I confirmed that with another attorney who
Who
is
is
in
all these
Georgia. Here,
people
when there is a material
she's
witness
talking
warrant,
about?
you
This
can
is
make a motion to controvert that warrant
attorney
in the
Shabazz,
allegations that are contained.
who
Because
I love
basically,
listening
with
to.
the material witness warrant, what the police are saying is you have material information about this particular crime, right?
Yeah.
And they likely haven't spoken
Material
to you.
information
They
means
likely are repeating what they've heard.
information
And
that can
so if
prove a
you can
fact,
get on the
right?
stand and somehow refute and challenge that
So
you
it's
have
important
material
information.
information and demonstrate that you in fact do not have material information. Maybe you weren't around, maybe you were incarcerated, maybe you were out of state, you were on vacation, maybe you were out of the country, or whatever it may have you, but you can refute their
But
notion, their
I
evidence
caught
that
her
you do
saying
have
something, so I
material
rewound it.
information, then the court will
Talking
cancel
about some other
that
people. I don't know
material
nothing about these
witness
extra
warrant,
people. So if
and then you will
anybody
no
know
longer be under
about what
uh,
these other
the
people she's
auspices
talking
of the
about,
DA's
if
office
y'all had the
and their
paperwork
ability to force
in
you
Georgia,
to
Lord, is the site back up? Can we get it off
force you
the
to
site?
testify. Yes, we gave to the GoFundMe to help him obtain. Good,
Yeah,
good. That's
she gonna
good.
tell you
Thank
the
you,
names. I can't
everyone. I
remember these
appreciate that.
names.
Um, and yeah, he has the lawyer. So we'll see how that plays out. I also saw that YSL Mondo was recently arrested or at least charged. Not sure if he
That.
is in custody, but he was charged. I want to say by Cobb County because I was ear hustling. I like half paying attention while I'm doing something else. Um, and so if my facts are not right, help me out. But Cobb County, he was charged with gun possession and all other manners of things. And this is interesting because he's one of the people who claims to be a founder of YSL, who is also a former client of Fonnie Willis. And it is really interesting that this individual is not charged along with the other YSL members, um, considering that he pulls no punches. It's not a secret that he is someone who claims to have started
What?
YSL
Wait a minute. I just went over
so
the
we'll see how that
indictment
plays out and whether or not the
somewhat.
defense will call him. I will tell you that
Damn, that's water.
it could be a gift and a curse, right? And so it's not something that they should do lightly if they're going to call him because it could backfire, right? On the one hand, calling him and demonstrating that he is someone who is a part of this organization, who started this organization, and selectively has not been prosecuted, could show that there is some,
Taparico
you know,
going on.
prejudice and bias and things of that nature with this prosecution. But then on the other side, the jury might look at it and go, oh, he's a YSL guy. He just got busted with a bunch of guns and money and drugs or whatever, if that was the case. I know it was guns. I saw the guns. I don't know if it was drugs or money. But, and then that might, by association, right, they could infer guilt, which you never want to do, right? This is what jurors do. And it's not permissible, but you're not in the back of the jury room while they're deliberating and while they're coming up with their conclusions based on the evidence that's presented. So it's one of those things where, I'm
She
not
talking
sure
about
how the
Mondo
defense
and
is
all
going to
these other
see
people.
the
Who
YSL
are these
Mondo
people?
events as of late and whether or not he's going to get in. I feel like the info from his case started to Rico. But this has been no. So let me push back. The only reason I want to push back on that H Sox is because based on different conversations I've had over the course of the years this trial has
If
been pending,
anybody got
it is
paperwork
my
on these
understanding that
people,
there
let
have
me
been
know.
numerous investigations into
Y'all not
Young
been trying
Thug
to
and
track
YSL
down,
back when Paul Howard was the DA, right? Before
track
Fonnie Willis even got
down, trying to keep up with
into
the
the
other
office.
cases
And
somewhat
Paul
as
Howard
well.
back then was like, we don't got enough. We don't have it. We don't have the evidence. We don't have it. So we're not going to bring this case. And mm, you know, same shit with Trump in Manhattan. It was the prior DA JD Vance was like, I'm not going to pursue that. Not going to pursue that. And then we got
It's
the
the
DA
same
who's here
JD
now.
Vance?
And he initially was like, I'm not going to sue that either. I'm not going to sue that either. And then he turned 360 degrees and to 180 degrees, I should say, and decided
Is
to
that
pursue
the
the case.
same
So
JD
it's, you
Vance
know,
that
I don't know
is
how
his
that's going to
running
play
mate?
out. I don't know how it's going to play out. What I do know is that these individuals, these young
Hold
men,
on.
are facing the same RICO counts as Donald Trump and his cohorts, and they are all out on bail. So fuck you, Fonnie Willis. Fuck you and the horse you rode in on,
Oh,
because it's your fault that these kids are in jail in a prison that is not safe, is not clean. People are dying, and nobody is doing anything about it. Right? I don't know where the class action lawsuits are. I don't know where the DOJ is.
she is so funny.
I don't know where any of the
the
challenges are that could help the situation. It's an Eighth Amendment violation, right? Because while inmates do have reduced
Is it the
constitutional
same
rights,
dude?
they still have the right to be treated and not be treated with cruel and inhuman treatment. So she just want to get loose off the goose. Yeah, she's ridiculous, and it's taking a long time, but eventually she's gonna get hers. She's gonna get hers. Yep. Because what you put out to the universe, people, and I tell you this, I tell my students this, I tell my kids this, I tell what you put out to the universe comes back to you. It's coming back. It's gonna come back. It's the law of the universe. It has to be that way, right? And so she's gonna get hers. And I don't wish bad on nobody. I wish that people get what they deserve. And let that sit with a motherfucker for a second. I wish that people get what they deserve. So, make sure that you sow the right seed so that when it's time for you to get what you deserve, what you deserve will be fruitful and bountiful. And
that's crazy because I'm always saying that.
Right? That you threw out coming right back.
Sow the right seed.
Be careful about those things. Yeah, man, you do. It's true, sus. It's absolutely true. What you put out
I came back on this 7. Anybody got this paper she's talking about?
It absolutely
honey.
Back around. All right. There's some more things that I want to talk about.
Judge Whitaker killed me when she said, lawyers look up cases and stuff by numbers.
Fuck shit that's going on in these battleground states that will affect our ability to certify these elections, to count these elections properly, for people to vote properly. All of these things are issues that we got to talk about, but we can't do today.
Oh, she probably volunteered to be on the legal team for the
I really do.
election.
Catch me. I've been on Serious Urban Views at 8 a.m. on Thursdays. 8 a.m. Thursday on the Talk to My Lawyer segment with Lamont King and Greg Carr. It's Urban View Mornings. Check me out there. Sirius Channel 126. I'm usually on Thursday mornings at 8 a.m. All right? And I will try to be back on this channel more often. I love y'all. I got to come. Peace out. Y'all be good to each other.
All those people she's talking about, Mondo and all those people. If anybody got that paperwork, please let me know. Especially you Georgia people. But yeah. So, yeah. So that's why I really came on here for, because I'm too sleepy to write down some names and put it on the board and all that type of stuff. And if I know, if I just drop a little video, somebody here and send me the paperwork, because Georgia, but yeah, I want to catch, try to, like, I think I would call this a little downtime. Like, I'm I'm not interested in following these particular witnesses, like a lot of it's a lot of the case. I mean, we know right now, somebody got shot. The lady got shot with the weed. I think that's what they're talking about. Um, so we know that. And I really don't need all the evidence and the ballistics and all of that. Oh, what kind of outfit Dennis Byron got on? Let me see what his taste do.
Technical difficulty with the internet, so we're at the end of live, but I'm back. We should be back in the courtroom about another 20 minutes. Hopefully, the attorney representing Ernest Williams is in the court because that has been delayed this morning. Usually, the judge.
Oh, he over there, Ernest Williams.
The cases involving attorneys first because obviously the judge knows they don't want someone else's dime. So we'll see how this plays out. Again, that individual is in the building that we spoke about earlier. Actually, I would just say a few feet away, as a matter of fact.
If y'all get
what's going to happen is when they get in the court, we're going to.
Pam Esquire did
I don't think it's coming through because the other Mr.
All right, no, yours is better now. All right.
Thank you.
It's from Mr. Cardello. All right. So.
hold on. This is by Cardella. This is dude that won the default judgment for $100 million for not because Puffy them didn't show up.
So, Mr.
And his
Cardello,
crazy
we're
ass.
getting a lot of feedback from the room that you're in. Okay, so what I'm gonna probably do is mute you until you need to speak. Okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
Can I say my?
Oh, hold on. I'll go ahead and unmute. Can you unmute? Click unmute. Not work with WOC. No.
Your Honor, let me add something if you don't mind. My name is.
Let me call the case first. Hold on. All right. So, Mr. Cardello Smith, I muted you, so now it won't let you no, there you go. Got it. This is in the matter of Derek Lee Cardello Smith versus Sean Combs, file number 2024-7362NO. So I have.
Why is he in jail?
Is it my understanding you filed an appearance on behalf of Mr. Cardello Smith today?
I filed it last Friday, Your Honor. It's a limited scope of appearance only to supplement any oral argument and other matters. I would add that Mr. Smith is coming into you through protective custody at C.L. Brooks Correctional Facility, and I think that is why we're getting the feedback. I don't know exactly. I'm not sure why that is.
It's feedback because he's in a cement block room, so I understand that. What is your That might help.
Does that help?
Yeah, quite a bit actually. All right. Mr. Hughes, what is your key number?
36421.
All right.
So why he not? Where's his lawyer handling all of it?
A host of other people. I know that I do have David H. Fink and Nathan J. Fink appearing, and do I have, yes, David Berg as well.
This whole shit is crazy.
Bergum.
appearing on behalf of the defendant. So David H. Banks, your P number is 28235. Nathan J. Banks, P number is P75185. David A. Berg is P83696. And Calder A.L. Burgum is P87203. And Erica Wolf, I did get a notice that you have not yet been admitted to the Michigan Bar, so I will not call you as counsel. All right?
Yes, Your Honor. I have a pro hoc BJ application pending for your court.
Yes, thank you.
And I'm Derek Lee Cardello Smith on behalf of myself as the plaintiff on the matter for the record.
Yes, and Mr. Cardello Smith, obviously Mr. Hughes has filed an appearance after the limited scope.
Yes.
Is that correct with your permission?
Yeah, so why he ain't represented for the whole thing?
All right, so we have.
Your Honor? Your
Yes,
Honor?
sir.
I don't mean to interrupt. It's just there's been some circumstances that have taken place since last week, and I wanted to make sure that you're aware of it as soon as I discover it. Monday we had the judgment, and then Tuesday, Warden Chris King, Inspector Jensen, and several other staff members pretty much stated to me that they're going to remove me from general population. No legit reason, no misconducts, nothing about the high-profile nature of the case. Simply because they want to get some green out of me for potential green. They said, if I agree to that, they'll put me back in general population, or otherwise they're going to take me, a level 2 prisoner with no misconducts and no reason to be out of general population. As you can see, I'm in
You
shackles.
sound like a white guy.
They're going to take me and place me, and I wasn't in shackles in any of our last
Well, he got a little mental
in
problem.
either Ionia Bellamy Creek, Alger, or Oaks Correctional Facility, and these are level 4 prisons, to make things harder for me to not only prosecute this case, but also to prosecute my other cases. I'm locked in a room on a floor with a whole bunch of other prisoners that are there for their sanctions, their citations, their misconducts. There's literally no reason for me to be in it, and their reasons are complete loss. I've been in there since Tuesday night at 6:30. Not even use the phone, none of the level 2 privileges that I earned in a whole year. I just wanted that preserved on the record. And today they also just stated to me an hour ago that they're going to be taking my visitor logs, my phone
And he has
and,
sued all kind of celebrities and shit. Let's see,
and
okay.
some other documents.
No, I'm not gonna argue with you back
And
in your line of work.
And also that they have the ability to alter things and alter documents. And that is something that will greatly interfere and impact this case. Should this case go to trial, or should this case...
Hey, don't shut that door. If you shut that door, I get really bad feedback and no audio. So, go ahead, finish up.
They want to alter the visitor logs. They want to alter the phone records. They want to alter all sorts of documents to change the outcome of this case in Mr. Combs' favor. And all of these things are completely unethical. They're not legal. I'm a prisoner that was raped by this man's client, sexually assaulted by him, had my money taken from me.
Oh boy.
And now they're doing this.
These men saying anything for the money. Now, I don't know if it's true or not, but you know, all these people keep hollering about Puffy raping them. It usually ends up with Puffy also on the money too.
So we have several motions that were filed. We have, let me get back to my notes, defendant Sean Combs' motion to dissolve temporary restraining order and or preliminary injunction. And then defendant Sean Combs' emergency motion to set aside default and default judgment. And then we have those two motions.
Okay.
So, Mr. Berg, and Mr. Burgum, who is going to argue that motion, please?
Your Honor, I'll be arguing the motion.
Okay. So at this point, Mr. Cardello Smith, just to make sure we get a good recording, I'm going to mute you, okay? All right. So, David Fink, you may proceed.
Thank you very much, Your Honor, and thank you for hearing this on short
Oh, and I
notice.
also will add, counsel, that we have about 20 minutes. So I will give I've read everything, never fear. So you have about 10 minutes, and then I'll allow 10 minutes to Mr. Hughes, okay? And then I'll give you about 5 minutes follow-up. Thank you.
Your Honor, I will say that the magnitude of this matter is such that we may need more than 10 minutes. I will move as quickly and it is clear.
That's fine, and I can schedule this for another day. My motion doc on Mondays, the docket is 15 minutes per motion, and you had asked for an emergency addition, and so I am limited on the time I can give you so that I don't inconvenience my other clients that come in front of me. If you wish it to be set where, you have a period of time to argue it, we can do that, but rest assured, I really only need you to reiterate what's not in your pleadings or, because I have read them and taken notes.
We'll move as quickly as we can, Your Honor, and we'll be able to determine whether we need more time afterwards, and I will try to speak as clearly as I can. If I'm speaking too fast, I apologize to the court reporter and to the court, and please let me know. First, Your Honor, to be clear, we have filed a limited appearance in this case, and it's a limited appearance for the most important issue which drives everything that we're dealing with here, which is that this court does not have personal jurisdiction over Sean Combs. And the reason is because there has been no proper service in this case. There's no question about it. Now, clearly, we have two different motions. Both motions, though, are controlled by and can be disposed of simply based on one issue, which is the lack of service. That the lack of personal service is everything here. Now, Your Honor, we know that the court is well aware of the rule because, in fact, we have obtained the transcript of the proceeding last Monday. And on that transcript, this court correctly stated the requirement that there must be, that when you're dealing with mail service, which you're dealing with here, under 2.105 sub A, it must be served, it must
so how
be
you found out about it?
Requested and
today.
Delivery
For
restricted
today.
to the addressee. This court recited that appropriately. There's no mystery here what happened. Mr. Combs made a misrepresentation to this court, and we're going to be able to show it. I'm not
saying Mr. Cardello Smith.
Mr. Cardello, yeah.
Cardello Smith. If I make that mistake, please correct me. I apologize. Mr. Cardello Smith made a fundamental misrepresentation to this court, and I'm literally going to be able to show it to you right now. Now, in the pleadings, you may recall that first he claims that he served by mail on May 31st. Then later, he claims that he served on July 6th. But the way that he proved service on July 6th was to show the court a return receipt. Can we share the screen? We can put the return receipt up on the court will allow us to share the screen.
Sure.
I'm gonna go live and show this if I can find it.
The first document, if I could do this myself, the first document the court is seeing is exactly the proof of service that the court relied upon, the plaintiff's green card. And I'd like the court to look at this card for just a moment, but we don't have much time, so I'm going to jump ahead and show the court the other card that was filed with the court. This one, as you can see, by the way, let me take just one moment. Yeah, okay, we've still got it. You can put it back on. Yeah, we've got the two cards. You look on the left, you see the card that the court understandably relied upon. Now, looking at that card, I would point out that the printed name there is, I don't know what it is, but it certainly is not Sean Combs. The signature, I don't know what it is, but it's certainly not Sean Combs. But the card on the left, which was one of the cards the court had in its file that was provided by Mr. Smith, that card has checked off addressee at the top. It says on the left side under summons and complaint, it has the number of the case. And then on the bottom, it's checked off certified mail, restricted delivery. Then on the right, you see where it says signature confirmation and signature confirmation, restricted delivery. Does the court see that?
Yes.
Okay. But the card on the right was also filed with the court by Mr. Smith on the same day. It's in the court file, and that card is absolutely identical. You can see it. It's clearly the same card because you see, like in the lower right-hand corner where somebody has scribbled return receipt requested, look at the odd way that the date says July 6, 2021, but it's got a little funny mark on the top of the one. Who knows, maybe somebody was trying to write 4, I don't know. But clearly these are the same documents. But the one on the left has been doctored.
Ah!
After this was signed, after the card on the right was signed,
ma'am.
somebody went through and checked addressee, certified mail, restricted delivery, signature confirmation, restricted delivery. Looking at these cards, there's no way this could have been done in the other order. First of all, there'd be no reason to have taken it and then erased those markings. But if you had erased or whited out those markings, there'd be some showing on the card on the right, and there isn't. The card on the right is the actual return receipt. And apparently, Mr. Smith, who did plenty of other things which we can talk about that show his lack of credibility, but apparently Mr. Smith realized it was supposed to be restricted, and so after he got the card, he checked those boxes and then resubmitted it to the court. That alone establishes he did not serve properly. The court rule couldn't be more clear, and it's very, very clear that he didn't do that here. Now, let's be clear about who we're dealing with.
You finna go down about all that shit in there to others.
Mr. Smith.
Are you done screen sharing? Because you can remember that.
We're done with this particular. We can take this document off. Yes.
Thank you.
Mr. Smith resides at the E.C. Brooks Correctional Facility. He's there for a reason. The court knows he's convicted of multiple felonies. He's there for a long, long time. He's also a serial litigant who has been found by the federal court, by Judge Lawson in the Eastern District, and we've got this in the record. He has been found to have filed at least 4 frivolous lawsuits. That's before this one. Now, Your Honor, I want to be clear about something. Mr. Combs has denied service in his affidavit, very explicitly and very clearly. He's also denied signing the card. But if you look at the card, and I'm sorry, I guess we don't need to pull it up again, but if you look at the card and look at the signature, that is not the signature of Sean Combs. Now, I'm not expecting the court to have memorized Sean Combs' signature, but that signature doesn't say anything like Sean Combs. Now, in this case, Mr. Smith has presented another signature that he claims to be the signature of Sean Combs. As the court may recall, that signature is found on this 11-page document. We'll be showing it to the court.
This man is nuts.
And that signature is 100% different than this signature. Now, neither one of them are the signatures of Sean Combs, but these are both signatures that Mr. Smith wants the court to believe are Sean Combs' signature. And they are not. Now, Your Honor, with the limited time that we have, I want to be as clear as possible. In his affidavit, Mr. Combs has told the court he didn't get the summons and complaint. He didn't sign a return receipt. He looked at the return receipt filed in this case. It's not his signature. The address on the return receipt is not his primary address. He does not primarily live in Los Angeles. He lives in Miami, Florida now. But, Your Honor, and this alone should resolve both cases. With both motions, without a proper service documented to the court, he had the burden of proving it. Without proper service documented to the court cannot exercise jurisdiction over Mr. Combs. Just cannot. Now, I'm going to go very quickly through a couple of things here, but I think I need to jump ahead to something else. Because the court has heard many lies from Mr. Smith. And only this morning did we confirm that one of them was a lie. And that is at the temporary restraining order hearing, which we were able to observe on YouTube. At that hearing, you may recall that Mr. Smith told you that he was visited at the prison by Sean Combs. He told the court that he gave the court a visitor list, apparently thinking that showing the people he was willing to visit would mean that willing to have visited him would mean that they had visited him, which they don't. We subpoenaed the prison. And that's what Mr. Smith was talking about. We subpoenaed the prison. And just this morning, just minutes ago actually, we received something which I want to show you on the screen. This is the document that we got from the prison when we said we wanted a list of every visitor that visited Mr. Cardello Smith at the prison between January 1st and today. Now, as you will recall, when he testified, he told you in the TRO hearing, he told you that 2 weeks before that, and that was some date in August, that 2 weeks before that, not only had Sean Combs visited him, but Sean Combs had offered him $2.3 million. Sean Combs had told him some other things, and supposedly Sean Combs had even said to him that he would not be answering the complaint, as though that's something that somebody tells an opposing party.
Right.
Your Honor, this is the visitor log that we received this morning from the prison. As you can see, he has had 3 recorded visits since January 1st. William Proctor, Paul Hughes, and William Proctor. Paul Hughes, as you understand, is his lawyer. And by the way, I point out, this was on September 5th. So while the court has been indulging Mr. Smith's, shall we say, creative filings, he has actually been being advised by counsel, who's now on the Zoom today with us, on this proceeding with us today. Your Honor, in order to have entered an order, and the reason I'm showing this particular thing to you is that his credibility is relevant. He lied to this court repeatedly, and we have evidence of it, and we've only been on this case for a couple of days. Mr. Smith did not know about this case. Mr. Combs did not know about this case until he saw it in the public media.
Okay. That's what I asked earlier. How did he know about it?
The next day we were retained. We filed our pleadings as fast as we possibly could. We got here as quickly as we possibly could once we could put the facts together. And we're getting more facts every minute. Now, Your Honor, the temporary restraining order. The temporary restraining order could not be more improper for so many different reasons, but I'm going to cut to the chase. The most important reason is, if you and none of these allegations are true. Mr. Combs denies every single allegation. This is pure fiction, but we don't expect the court to rely on that. What the court can rely on is if every word in this complaint were true, and they're not, but if every word were true, the statute of limitations ran years ago. He couldn't possibly prevail on likelihood of prevailing on the merits. This court couldn't determine that he's likely to prevail on the merits. It's impossible for him to prevail on the merits. He claims all of this occurred in 1997. The most generous interpretation of the statute would be the 10-year statute, which was adopted by the legislature in 2018. The actual statute of limitations in place in 1997 was a 3-year statute for allegations like this arising out of criminal sexual conduct. This claim has been barred by the statute of limitations for years. This occurred 27 years ago. The statute ran at least 17 years ago and probably 24 years ago. And that should be the end of any inquiry regarding likelihood of prevailing on the merits. But if the court wants to go further, the court can look at the completely implausible allegations that this man makes. Here's a man who's been convicted of criminal sexual conduct and kidnapping and who's filed at least 4 frivolous lawsuits in federal court. But look at what he says in this case. And we're going to show the court something very interesting here. He claims in this case that this occurred in Adrian, Michigan. In his pre-trial statement, which is filed in this court, he states that the assault occurred in the city of Adrian. Now, the complaint doesn't say that. In the complaint, in the first paragraph, when he refers to the Holiday Inn, he says it's located in, and then the next spot is whited out. Well, as the court might know, There was no Holiday Inn in Adrian in 1997. That building was turned into a Holiday Inn in 1999, 2 years later. It was not a Holiday Inn. And it might have been convenient for Mr. Combs, for Mr. Smith to make that claim. It might have been convenient. But I want to show you something that's a lot more interesting and a lot more troubling and should again be decisive. Nate, can you share the
Let
screen?
him go over.
Your Honor, we learned late Friday, through a little bit of investigation, that Mr. Smith filed an almost identical complaint in Monroe County, and we're showing it right now. It's case number 2024-147784-NO. That was filed, and by the way, we checked the court docket. There's been no action in it after it was filed. Note that it was filed on June 10th, the exact same date that this case was filed in this court. And if you look side by side at the two documents, you can see the way that he has been trying to manipulate this court with his cunning frauds. I mean, it's shocking what he's done here. On the left side, where you see the complaint filed in Monroe County, if you look at the jurisdictional statement,
is he filing himself? Because he got an attorney sitting up there.
It's really something when you're doing a divorce, but he put it in, and he says he maintained a residence in Monroe County at least 6 months prior to incarceration. On the jurisdictional statement in this case, on the right, you see that he said that he maintained a residence in, you see how he whited out county, which whited out Monroe? But that's not all. Can we go to the next page? His paragraph 1 in the complaint.
Damn, he good.
In the Monroe County complaint, he says he was invited to attend a gathering at the Holiday Inn. This is what Mr. Smith wrote, located in Monroe, Michigan, where he says these things occurred. Then let's look down at the Lenawee County complaint. Absolutely identical, with one difference. Invited to attend a gathering at the Holiday Inn located in blank, Michigan. And then, of course, in this case, he lies flat out in a pretrial statement and says it was in Adrian, Michigan. Never tells anybody about the Monroe complaint. Never tells that lie again. He picks his lies to manipulate the court he wants to manipulate. By the way, there's more in common in these cases. Nate, can you show the next thing? In both cases, he files a proof of service. And the proof of service says, as the court will recall, this odd proof of service says that he served the pleadings on May 31st. Obviously impossible. The pleadings didn't exist, at least hadn't been filed in any court by May 31st. But in Monroe County, you can see the proof of service. Here in Lenawee County, check out the top of that document. You see how he cuts and pastes? How he puts in the Lenawee County court rather than the Monroe County court? Otherwise,
Mr. Fink, as I said, my Monday morning docket is pretty tight. I have a hearing set every 15 minutes.
Lady, come on.
We appreciate you request emergency hearing. We tried to fit you in, but I am out of time. So I am going to set this right away, expeditiously, for another time.
But I have to beg the court to set aside the TRO. The TRO is invalid.
Mr. Fink, I have a docket that I'm running. I'm going to get you in right away, but I'm not going to inconvenience the other people that are in front of me for you on an emergency hearing. I understand that. So I can, let me see, 11:1:30. So we can do 8 a.m. What is this? Hearing. I can do 1 hour tomorrow. That's a post-judgment hearing I have at 1:30. So I can set this for 1 hour tomorrow. Do we think we're going to need more than an hour?
Your Honor, this is so critical that we'll take whatever time the court can give us. We'll try to get.
Well, my question was, do you need more than an hour?
If we can at least address the temporary restraining order unless
Mr. Hughes?
we can do it in 1 hour.
Your Honor, I have an important doctor's appointment tomorrow. I cannot do it.
Do you have the morning available?
The morning the appointment is at 11 a.m.
How about Wednesday at,
Look at his ass. Don't try to get out of it now. That's your damn client.
What about Wednesday?
The shit I'm talking about.
A temporary restraining order cannot exist for more than 14 days. Your Honor, this restraining order is a violation of the court.
Mr. Finch, stop before I hold you in contempt.
I'm sorry.
I am trying to accommodate you as quickly as possible. I am not going to inconvenience the other 30 people that are on my docket this morning. So I am trying to accommodate you. So I can do 11 o'clock on Wednesday. I can do 1:30 on Wednesday.
Your Honor, let me...
We'll bump other evidentiary hearings, but I cannot bump my motion docket. So Wednesday, 11 o'clock.
What time, Your Honor? What time? I'm sorry, what time?
11 or 1:30.
Well, we want it as soon as possible, so...
Well, it's 2 days away. 11 or 1:30. What works best for you?
Let's at 11.
Okay, Mr. Hughes.
That's fine, Your Honor.
So we
Your Honor,
will see back here.
May I respectfully ask the court to revisit just the issue of the TRO? A TRO is not supposed to last for more than 14
now and go to my other hearings. Thank you very much. So we will see you back the 18th at 11 o'clock. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So we will continue this to 9:18 at 11.
Ooh.
Great, now I would ask anybody from media to log off. Thank you. All right, so
Lord have mercy.
That got a bit. Oh.
I know, Pam Esquire.
That got a bit spicy. For those of you that just came in, you might want to rewind it back. Sean Combs, let me take this thing off of here. Sean Combs just filed an emergency motion. David Fink is actually a decent attorney. I've went against him a few times. He's in a bigger firm here, closer to us. Adrian, interesting fact, nothing really happens in Adrian. I was born in Adrian, Michigan, and it's a very small town and everybody in there is related. So, again, like my sister said in the chat, this probably made the front news because I've made the front page a couple of times on minor stuff when I was in Adrian. But nonetheless, as you guys see, Sean Combs filed a emergency motion to set aside the default judgment. His attorney, David Fink, has presented a whole lot of receipts or evidence to basically show that perhaps it was
that man crazy as hell.
Litigious. They also showed the actual sign-in log, which I told you guys before will be the telltale.
Yeah, and they don't have jurisdiction,
like
so they don't have.
It was made up, and then it also looks like the one in Monroe. He filed a lawsuit in Monroe, but also he has filed other things of which, like he's filed things against our governor. Just the other. Let me see if I can pull one up on him.
Oh wow, this is crazy. Let me. This is crazy. That man, they caught his ass. That's what I'm talking about. People gonna stop weaponizing the damn justice system for their own personal bullshit. Every time you turn around, you got your ass on the phone, or you emailing and harassing people over with personal bullshit. I ain't got time for that. I wish sometimes there's some of the mean officers answer the phone and say, you know what, you call or email me something else, we're gonna lock your butt up. We're gonna come get you. That has happened several times here. Because you're not gonna harass us with your personal bullshit. They'll tell you just like that. You send in another paper, wasting our time. Taxpayer, they got a whole speech for that shit. Wasting our time, taxpayers' money. We can be going out on emergencies, all kind of stuff. They go down the line on your ass. They tell you, you call here, you come fucking around with us one more time, we gonna come and get you. Oh, BS. Well, I'm gonna try to see if I can find his appearances and see if this motherfucker's crazy. Oh, I'm sorry, Mo. I just don't believe that. You got to do all that assessment and by the rules of the insurance. I mean, I get all of that. People gotta get paid. And I get all of that. I believe calling a spade what it is and getting it out the way early. Something is wrong. And if you don't give them help now, it's gonna really be wrong in a few. People with mental health issues, they're taking their life and all of this. Like, I don't want to see that happen when it could be prevented. I don't want to see that happen. And on that, when you have someone that is legitimately mentally ill, right? Your heart breaks for them, okay? Your heart breaks for them. I get it. But I do want everybody to get help. I mean, we can't be, it's gonna be alright. Wait till you get to this level. Wait till you present some more signs and all this here. I got time for that. It might be too late. So, I do not know, but baby. Oh, child. When you have a healthy spirit, you got a healthy mind and a healthy spirit, maybe your body might be, down. When you have a healthy mind and a healthy spirit, y'all, I'm trying to tell you that there is nothing better. Nothing better. Lord have mercy. Just like when oh my, I'm such a, when everybody around you is genuine, good people, whatever. Ooh, child. that's when you can just say if you want to, if you want to disclose some real secrets or share some good news or put somebody down on some work or together, some stuff like, you know what I'm saying? That's people that it's just, oh my gosh, you just don't have it, you just don't understand. So okay, well, you ain't got to wonder. Like, you ain't got to wonder what you're gonna eat tonight. Wonder this, wonder that, baby. It seems like I ain't got to wonder what I'm be eating, because it seems like it's gonna be curry chicken. I just don't feel like dealing with the preparation of it. I cut the potatoes. And I become such a pro in like cooking stuff that you wouldn't normally cook in the oven and in the, because here's the thing, right? I hate washing dishes, so therefore I try to avoid using pots and pans and all that other shit, honey. I keep them they still be in the box or whatever. So what I do is, cook a lot of stuff in the oven, right? And then I cook like some stuff in the microwave. I just had to get over my not wanting to cook stuff in the microwave. I just don't like it. I like to cook stuff. And I think just sometimes it takes away from the flavor. But I like to cook my stuff the traditional way. I don't know how to cook rice. Every way you think of, I can cook rice. Name a place, I can cook rice. I can cook rice in the oven, microwave, wherever you want it. So I'm gonna make that curry. I do not like the red curry. I like the yellow curry. So, anyhow, I'm gonna try to find where this dude done appeared and see can I play it, because he done come now and done did the okadoke in the courtroom. And that's why you had when them papers come in, I told you a long time ago. When those claims come in, you go to looking for anything that can get what? Dismissed. And I hope and I need to know how long he gonna be in jail for whatever he did. But they said for a long, long time. Cause when you remember when they said, did it got hit with default judgment for 100 million? That's when I said, where's the attorneys? I mean, I was like, well, damn, they did it, just done gave up. Or maybe he ain't see it. They ain't see it or something like, or he ain't got no money for attorneys. No, like I ain't know what to think. And this nut done mess with the service. Dude, you finna, they finna recall that, baby. They finna have not recall it, but they finna deal with that. Yes, honey, he is coming up. Challenging jurisdiction, honey. In the court didn't have the power to hear the case, so that'd be interesting. I think I can get hold of the paperwork. I want to get hold of his appearances in court. Because the guy said he presented it to the court, so on his appearance, so I'm like, okay. And that's out of Michigan. Damn, I need the numbers to put them. I'm like, Judge Whitaker, baby, Lord, we pull it up by numbers, honey. We don't want to pull up by, no, okay, what? No, huh? I know that's right. That's why I can never find none. I ain't back got time for all that. But anyway, y'all, okay, I'm trying to stop your timeline today. Happy birthday, timeline up. Surely do, honey. It's called on machine. I can get that content out. Pop, 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 pop. Do this and do this work. Do this and do the live, but it'll get that content out. Got that content out, baby. Content machine. But damn, I got to make sure that I load it through StreamYard so I can load it through, so I can send it to, what's the name? Twitter. So I can get my hours up. Our friends over there at Twitter. Well, alright, y'all. I will holler. I gotta do some more digging. I'll check back in on myself. Alright, peace.